We drink tequila. We talk.
Welcome to Team Tequila Talks.
Cheers to
Commencing Tequila Talks.
commencing tequila talks. That's exactly right. So delicious. Well, hello there. You guys saw us take our chairs. Welcome to our new podcast. This is Tequila Talks. I am Cassandra Amell, and I am here with Sherionne Gonzalez. And from the House of Strong, Mark Strong. Hopefully we will be seeing a lot of him. And we're here to drink tequila and talk about it. Hence the name Tequila Talks.
We're scientists here.
Scientists.
Yes.
There's actual scientific
Tequila scientist.
processes happening. So we wanted to start this podcast because all three of us, separately and together, are regularly at the bar or the club or a restaurant, and we are huge enthusiasts and advocates of tequila. The waiter comes over, asks you to order a drink, and everybody goes, "Really? Tequila? I'm not doing shots. I don't know about this. Why tequila? What do you mean tequila? I don't drink tequila. I'm not a tequila person." And the three of us spend a lot of time convincing people that they should be tequila people.
1,000%. 1,000%.
So we decided to, as opposed to having to repeat all of the benefits of tequila and all of the education that we have found over the years of tequila, individually in loud, noisy bar settings, we thought that we would put it on a podcast, record it, and you can listen to it until it's ingrained in you, and you too can be ordering tequila at the bar and the rest.
That is the goal.
I like it, 0 carbs in there.
Well,
Let's go.
starting with that, Sherionne Gonzalez, what are we drinking? What are we starting here?
We are drinking Código, which is from Jalisco, Mexico. They are 5th generation tequila growers. And there's a saying in Mexico that basically goes something like this: the best tequila in Mexico cannot be bought. Because most people, small families in and around tequila, they tend to make their own tequilas. They grow their own agave. They have their own fermentation processes that go with it, and they just share it amongst their families and friends. And this company obviously went deep into Jalisco and were like, "Hey, what is this?" They had a reposado. Today we're drinking the blanco. It is a reserve. It is aged in wine barrels that they order from Napa.
Are you saying this came out of someone's bathtub? Is this
I
like
am
modern
saying-
bathtub gin? Tequila?
But people were happier back then.
That's true.
Less stressed. So I drink this with sometimes straight, just on ice, with a little bit of salt, any type of tequila salt that you want, and with a little bit of orange.
I see an orange slice here. Should we be
We
doing
should
that?
be orange slicing.
Okay. All right.
Orange slicing.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm. And before or after, whatever makes you happy.
Oh, shit. This is good. It's a 5-second rule because tequila kills germs.
Yeah.
As
It
we
is-
know.
It is an antibiotic. Here we go. Let's
Okay.
see. First one down the hatch.
So we bite the orange first.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
And then
And we cheers it.
now, as I'm sure most of you guys are aware, most people think that you drink tequila with a lime.
Well,
Right? And we're talking about this, basically this preconceived notion that was birthed in maybe like the 70s off of Jose Cuervo.
And yeah, no shade to Jose Cuervo, but
No shade to Jose Cuervo, but for a long time that was the only tequila.
literally.
And then what was probably Patron that came on the market.
Yes.
Patron
and
exploded. I feel like the tequila
the
market
luxury
party.
tequila market.
Yes.
It was a good catalyst for that, I think.
Yes.
And I have learned through all of my tequila endeavors that an orange is absolutely better, and the citrus in it is better designed to bring out the flavors in the tequila.
Exactly. This is the minerals in this, because they use a specific water for this specific tequila that comes down a stream and comes over volcanic rocks in this specific part of Jalisco. The minerals in it, they prefer. They don't want to tell you how to drink your tequila. They prefer if you did any citrus, but avoid the lime.
Avoid lime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said orange, grapefruit. I mean, pick one. Pomelo, whatever,
Or no fruit.
or no fruit.
Well, I mean, you say no fruit, but Mark, I'm pretty sure that you almost always have your tequila with watermelon.
Yes, I do. Because it's hydrating and also low in sugar. Both my fruit and my tequila.
Yeah.
Mark from the House of Strong here is a body architect, not just an elite personal trainer, but a body architect, a nutrition advocate and enthusiast, and just sort of all-around lifestyle brand, I would say, from my exposure. Mark. So we take his word when it comes to tequila.
Yeah, and one of the top Pilates instructors in LA for sure. For sure. I mean, maybe next time we'll make him take his shirt off and give us all like a little taste of that body architecture.
Really make it happy hour with the tequila and the shirtless Mark Strong.
Totally.
So we're going to get into Mark's choice of tequila next. And just to kind of, I think we wanted to start with the Código to say, hey, here's a high quality tequila that is easily drinkable.
Yes.
And that is one of the things that if you know how to properly drink tequila, and we're gonna have a bunch of brands on the show to really go over what makes their tequila special. Yes. But today it's the three of us, and we're wanting to share what makes tequila special for us with you.
Yes.
So I think the Código is that for Sherry.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because I feel like my girlfriend brought it over to me and she was like, let's just sip some tequila. I mean, we're all into working out, being healthy, no hangovers. We are all about what makes you wake up. I'm a mom, so I gotta wake up in the morning, school, drop off, pick up, all the things. So she brought it over and I was like, this is kind of nice. I had never heard of it.
It's smooth.
And she's not from Jalisco, but she's from Mexico. And she's like this, and then she told me the whole story. And then of course I was like, I Googled it because people on tequila tend to talk, and you make up stories a little bit, get a little fun. You're like, I don't know if I can believe everything you're saying, but I'm buying it. But like tomorrow I might Google it, no offense. So, and it's just smooth. And isn't it lovely? Like with the orange slice, just kind of brightens it up a bit.
And with the salt too.
Yeah, a little bit of salt. Don't be afraid of salt, people. We need sodium in our diets.
I think also just on the nutrition standpoint is a bit of an antiquated point of view that salt is the enemy.
But salt technically isn't the enemy. Like it's great to have salt.
It's a great electrolyte. So if you're putting
especially
electrolytes
before
in,
workouts too, you need some salt in your body.
Yeah.
So for sure. So my tequila. So I love Casadronas number one because I'm a tequila snob.
And a fancy bitch, apparently.
I'm very selective.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Casadronas is fancy.
I love it because one of the note is very peppery. So I'm a big fan of turmeric and black pepper. And it's easy to mix it with like a turmeric cocktail. So you can do like a turmeric lemonade with the peppery tequila. So it just complements my other drink choices, and I can be a little flexible with it.
Tell me more about the turmeric. You haven't given me a turmeric.
Oh no, my turmeric margarita is to die for. So you do a little bit of black pepper, you do fresh turmeric juice, ginger juice, and lemons.
And why the black pepper?
Why the black pepper? Because it helps activate the curcumin, which is in turmeric. So then it's like an anti-inflammatory cocktail. So it's like, yes, I'm having fun, but I'm also being very smart and taking care of myself in the process.
Okay, so as you're pouring this, we're talking about some of the health benefits of tequila, and people are probably listening going, alcohol, health benefits, those two things do not go hand in hand, but tequila is a bit of a unicorn.
Yes.
Tequila has all types of scientific studies that can show that that do show that it is heavy in probiotics and it is low in calories. There's not a ton of added sugar to it, assuming that you're working with a high quality tequila. Yes. And overall, that's going to lead to fewer hangovers, less inflammation, healthier gut microbiome while you are drinking tequila. Because a lot of times, if you were drinking a lot, which we've all been there, right?
Yeah. We've all been there. This is no
Definitely.
shame, no shade. We've all had our issues.
But you can develop, gut problems. You can develop bloating and inflammation.
Yeah.
You can. That's why a lot of people that are drinking vodka all the time have acid reflux.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the things that tequila has working in its favor is this is proactively combating that. So not only does it not happen in the first place, but you're introducing more positive bacteria to your gut in the process. So cheers to the Casadronas, and then let's
cheers to the black pepper.
Black pepper.
Ooh.
Yes. Let's hear some more about the goodness of it.
Ooh, that's nice.
So this tequila is made in Tequila, Mexico, and it comes from their volcano springs. So that's why it's like more purified and it has a cleaner taste while you're sipping. So it's a great mixed tequila, mixing tequila, and also you can drink it as neat.
I taste a hint like an undertone of fruit and then an aftertaste of pepper.
Yeah, the pepper.
Yes, so they use pineapple.
That's
The pineapple. I
There
left
it
that
is.
one out.
Yeah.
So I used to work in nightlife, and we used to have this tequila rep come in all the time. And he was doing basically what we are doing right now, sharing his enthusiasm for tequila and teaching people how to properly taste tequila. And he is way back then when I learned, don't take it with a lime, take it with an orange. And we can try it right here. He said that the best way to really breathe in the flavors is after you take a sip, you're going to put your tongue to the roof of your mouth and almost exhale with an ujjayi breath. And so for those of you who are not yogis out there, that is when you breathe from the back of your throat, and it's kind of like an ocean wave.
And your mouth is closed.
It's kind of like what you probably heard your angry mom do when you were a kid when she was trying to bite her tongue. Is that just me?
Yeah, no.
As a child?
No.
No, okay.
Definitely all of
Our
us.
moms needed more tequila.
Definitely
They
all
needed
of
more
us.
tequila.
See, they only really had Cuervo back then. Okay, let's try again with
All right.
let's try with the ujjayi breath.
Okay, here we go.
And it also makes it go down smoother.
Totally
Because you
does.
focus on the taste and the aromatics and not like any type of sensation on the taste bud. It's just the
But I will say this. I learned that once the tequila hits your tongue, you inhale. And then once it goes down, you exhale. And that's when the notes like go through the tongue.
It's like different tequilas have different rules, which is what I've learned
Yeah.
over the years. We were just in Mexico in Ensenada, me and Cassandra, and we went to their house and we just wanted like a easy. He was like, "No, do a shot with me," a guy at the party, and I was like, "Don't want to be rude, okay." And he's like, "No, up, down." He was like, "Now pause, breathe out, breathe in, hold it."
but their processes, right?
And because I think people who care about things, like you care about the body, you don't do it because you have to, you do it because you love it. I think people, when you love what you do, I think tequila enthusiasts, they're always like, please drink my tequila like this. And I'm the first person to be like, tell me what you want me to do.
I agree. If you're going to do something, you want to do it right.
I want to do it right. I want to do it right.
Well, we are going to have one more tequila. We didn't even really get to touch a ton, but over the course of this podcast, we will pull up a bunch of fun studies, because yay science,
Yes.
about, some of the agavins, which is the sort of the way that agave processes, how, it can lower triglycerides in the blood, and it is actually something that diabetics and celiacs can drink. We're going to have a lot of fun mixologists come on and talk about using different tequilas and different, like Mark is saying. Well, Mark will probably be our first guest with this lovely sounding turmeric and black pepper.
Yes.
But we'll go over just all of the individual benefits, and some that might be a bit far-fetched, because this might be a unicorn, but let's be realistic, right? There's probably a lot of studies out there, and some of them may or may not.
I mean, disclaimer, this is science, and for every science journal, there's an that science journal. We're going with the pro.
Yeah, we're definitely
We're going
are.
with the pro tequila journals. We don't have time.
Plus,
for
it's
all-
fun testing these theories.
It is. And I just want to say, like, for autoimmune diseases, because I have people in my family with those, they are told by gastroenterologists who have PhDs and doctorates and all that stuff, they prefer if they stay away from brown drinks and vodka and gin, because if it's, first of all, on the podcast, we're talking about 100% agave tequila.
Yeah.
Anything less is nonsense.
Yes.
This is 100%. So if you're drinking 100% agave tequila, my family member was told that is the best way to avoid inflammation in your colon, for colitis, for Crohn's, for different types. So he specifically drinks tequila just because he won't have a flare up.
Yeah.
And that's like real science.
So basically zero worries with 100% agave, and that's what I like about it.
So on that note, we're going to get to my tequila, understanding that we have a bunch more health topics. We've got a full list of like all of the scientific sources, just so you guys know we're not making stuff up.
Maybe
We would never.
We would
would
never, but maybe after the third tasting.
Well, so we're going to have all of this backed up, and we're just skimming the surface right now. But another fun thing about Tequila Talks, we are going to talk about tequila, but we're also going to talk about what the heck is going on in the world. And we're going to keep it nice and light, because nobody wants to drink tequila and talk politics.
No.
So for that, we've got letting her
Yes.
My good friend Whitney here.
Whitney!
And but as she's coming in, we're going to talk a little bit about the tequila that I have chosen for us.
Yes.
The tequila that I have chosen for us is, hey Whitney, just giving a little background here. The tequila that I have chosen, can I actually see the bottle? I'm going to show you. This is actually a mezcal, and believe it or not, a lot of people don't know that mezcal is a type of tequila. Some of you do, and that's great. But I can't tell you the amount of times, I'm sure you guys have seen this too, where we've been at the bar and someone will say, oh, I want something, maybe like tequila and fruity and refreshing, but, a little bit of a heaviness to it, or they're describing some type of cocktail.
Right.
Yeah.
And the bartender or the server will say, oh, well, we've got this great mezcal-based cocktail. Do you like smoky? And a lot of people go, what's a mezcal? Or is mezcal more like a scotch? Because it does have scotch properties to it. So I love mezcal as much as I love tequila. This particular bottle of mezcal is from a place called Acre. And it is bottle number 42 of 72 of batch number 6. So these are all hand bottles. And then the reason I think this is important is because I think tequila should be an experience. And going to a mezcaleria, this place called Acre in Cabo San Lucas, or I guess San Juan. And when you
wait, that's where we went, right?
Back in her suitcase. So I actually
smuggle it?
Gave her a bunch. No, it's a small bottle, and you're allowed to bring back 700. Another fun tequila fact here: you're allowed to bring 750 milliliters over the border through customs without having to claim and file it. And so I brought this mini bottle. It's $3.75, and I gave Whitney so much shit for bringing a checked bag to Mexico for 2 days. And she's the only one we had to wait in baggage claim. That's right. And I wanted to bring this amazing bottle of tequila, of mezcal back because it was life-changing. And I go, but I have a carry-on. And Whitney goes, how's my checked bag looking now?
You're looking like a smart one.
Everybody gave me so much crap for making them wait at baggage claim when we first got there, and then everybody wanted my suitcase at the end of the trip.
Yep. So thank you, Whitney. Thank you for the tequila. This is
overpacking.
Cheers to you of Acre.
With
the Whitney.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I can't believe you still have that bottle. Mine's completely gone.
I save it for special occasions, like this one.
Like the first ever tequila toss.
Wow, that is great.
It's great,
delicious.
right? And the salt that I have is also from Acre, or from
Do you want us to put salt in there?
Just a little hint.
Just a little pinch.
And what I like about this particular mezcal, some mezcals can really pack a punch and hit you in the face. And sometimes that's what you want. Well, sometimes, depending on what you're going for.
The cocktail,
And depending on what kind of night you want to have too, right? But if mixed properly, and again, we will get into this in future episodes, we're going to look at how mixologists work with mezcal specifically and how they really either counteract that smokiness or lean into it, depending on what you're mixing it with. So that's something to look forward to, for sure. While we have Whitney here, my Mexican mezcal drinking buddy, Whitney, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, your website.
I am an entertainment reporter. I'm the deputy editor of Radar Online. I've worked for TMZ in the past. I've interned with E! I had my own company for a while called Get It Wit, which, but nice. So basically, Get It Wit.
I like it.
But basically, so I am the guru. I know everything that's pop culture, everything that's celebrity, everything that's happening right now in this minute.
Love it.
And that's one of the things about Tequila Talks is talking the pop culture. And Whitney was so kind to provide us with a short list of what is going on right now. And I have to say, I'm glad that you're here because I am awful at this. I was reading the list.
I'm up on everything except I'm not caught up on Euphoria. That's my own.
So Sherry is very on point with all this. Obviously, Whitney is an entertainment pop culture connoisseur, knows everything about what's going on in the world. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of go over some of these things that are happening and some of these topics. And I think that Mark and I and you two are probably going to just be on different pages. But you guys might have to educate us some.
Yeah. Well, some people
you know what?
Aren't going to know.
Well, and the other thing is too, pop culture is such, I can spit out all these facts to you guys, but everybody's going to have an opinion on it, right? So like everybody's going to be able to chime in, everybody's going to be able to like speak their mind and basically have a debate about what's going on. And so many things happen in this industry all day long. So it's like, Kanye did one thing yesterday and now he's doing something else type thing. So it changes all the time.
Well, and the
it's
interesting thing is
exciting,
I hear, for example, I was with you guys the other day and you were talking about the Real Housewives. I'm unfamiliar. So I think that I said something and both of you guys said, what? No. And I think looking at it from the outside in is probably going to offer up, just like you said, some different opinions. So in your opinion, Whitney, what is the biggest, I don't even want to say controversy because it could be something positive, but what is the biggest thing happening this week? Obviously the Rams just won the Super Bowl and it was just
huge
everywhere. Congrats LA, go Rams.
Yes. Yay.
So what is the biggest thing that you would say right now that is really, that people are talking about?
Okay, so definitely everybody is talking about Kanye West, Pete Davidson, and Kim Kardashian right now. This weird love triangle that only Kanye is in, by the way, right? Like Kanye is speaking his mind. Kim does not want anything to do with it. She's trying to divorce this man, mind you. And he is just going on a tyrant and basically attacking her boyfriend all weekend long. He wouldn't stop. So, it started off funny. People, Kanye kind of every once in a while posting something. He leaked a song saying that 100 goons were going to come to SNL, and SNL being Pete's place of work. So that was, a lot of people, he's a rapper, he is a musician. Artists do that, right? They put their personal life kind of into their songs. So nobody really took it that seriously.
He's a performance artist. I have to say that I saw him, and again, I'm not caught up on the drama as a whole, but I saw him at the Super Bowl, and I don't think, you guys can correct me if you saw this, but I don't think that they aired it on TV. They, when you go to these professional sporting events, they're cutting to all the celebrities, and there's usually one segment during a game where they're like, here's our 4 celebrities at this game. Right. Obviously, at the Super Bowl, there were probably 100, exactly. And so they had to break it up throughout the entire. They had to break it up throughout the entire game. And again, me being as naive with this stuff, they cut to this guy sitting there in a full ski mask situation, and they took his name off of the bottom. And I go, who is that? Who is that? And everybody seemed to know it was Kanye except for me. And then I see this tweet later that day or the next morning that's Judd Apatow. Yeah. And he's sitting an aisle or two away from him, or a row or two away from him, saying, I am sitting next to Kanye and his buddy, and Kanye is sitting here saying, man, I shouldn't have committed to this mask. It's really uncomfortable.
I can't breathe.
I need to take it. I can't see the Super Bowl. Like, you are at the biggest game in the history, and you show up with a freaking sock on your face and tiny little holes. Like, you can't see anything.
I can't.
He ended up taking it off.
He did. It was hot. It was hot.
It was very hot.
He took it off.
It was hot.
It was 87 degrees in Los Angeles on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, that's just stupid.
And he had his daughter sitting next to him, which I'm always very, like, my heart, any divorce or child custody thing, as messy as Kanye has been, I do feel like crossing the line, bringing in your children publicly into this. There's been things thrown around about mental health, drug use, all the things. But yesterday, Whitney, I don't know if you saw this, maybe you did, Jamel Hill, all these celebrities were saying to the media, stop glorifying this. He's attacking her. He's love bombing her. Abuse.
Wait, so for those of us who don't know what a love bomb is, can one of you guys explain that? Because Mark and I are in the dark over here.
What?
So, like, I'll give Sherry this, like, love bomb platform because I know where you're going, but, like, I'll let you explain this love bomb.
Okay, so love bombing is, let's say you got into an argument with your boyfriend, fiance, girlfriend, and husband or wife, and how they apologize to you is they do these gestures of grandeur, which are like out of this world. So Kanye put in front of her house on Valentine's Day a truck like a pickup truck filled with roses.
And this is post Super Bowl. Do you think he had it planned pre Super Bowl,
Absolutely.
or was it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was
Pre-prep,
always gonna do something,
was
but
all-
there
and
was
he-
so much.
He bought the house across the street from her in where their village where they live, and so he can park his car there. And he parked it across the house, across the street from her, and had it there. And then he Instagrammed it, and he was like, "I want my family back together." But it was like a grand gesture. And so love bombing is when someone does something bad, they do something really good, and then you fall for the good, but then the bad is repetitive. So it's like
Gotcha.
bombing you with the love and then bombing you with the disrespect.
Okay, but I'm a little confused because you're saying that he's parking this truck saying that he wants her back, but isn't he in a relationship with someone else?
Yes.
Yes, but
So
they are
this
now
is the other
broken
thing.
up, right?
So yes, you are totally correct. So they broke up over the weekend before Super Bowl. It was revealed that they broke up. She deleted all of his pictures off Instagram. Like, they're done, right? They've only been together for a month. We all kind of figured it was publicity anyways. But over the weekend, like, Kanye really took it too far. When he started basically like threatening Pete. He was ruthlessly attacking this man on Instagram. He was posting so many pictures of Pete, basically calling him a dickhead, instructing his fans that if you see this man, run up to him, scream at the top of your lungs, shout Kimye,
Yeah.
right? Like, basically just like, this guy is ruining my family. He's keeping me from my children. You know, all of this unbelievable stuff.
Okay, so forgive me if I'm out of the loop on this one too, but does Kanye still have that type of following where
Oh
he's
my
got his army
Yes,
that would
yes.
come?
Loyal fans.
Okay, obviously everybody still knows who Kanye is, and I
Oh,
love all of his old
he's
music.
very relevant, highly relevant.
Well, I'm not arguing whether he's relevant because I think everybody
Yeah.
knows who Kanye West is.
Yeah.
I guess what my question is there are different types of fans, and some people are fan army. You know, you look at some of
He
the
has an
younger
army.
pop stars.
He has
He
an
has
army.
an
Okay.
army, but lots of his fans love his art more than anything.
100%.
Actually,
Yeah.
him himself.
He is a
They
unique
just love what he
artist.
produced,
Yes.
in my opinion.
Yes.
IMO.
Yes.
And I mean, like, that's the thing. Kanye has so many fans, and people are wild these days. You don't know what somebody's actually going to do, how far they're going to take stuff, right?
Right.
Which is Kim's whole point. She reached out to Kanye through text message, and mind you, they have not been talking. She texts Kanye and is basically like, you are creating a very dangerous environment. Somebody is going to hurt Pete, and it's going to be your fault.
Mhm.
And so then, you know, he told his fans to back off, but in doing so, he decided it was a good idea to take screenshots of him and Kim's private messages to each other, post those to Instagram. You're a estranged wife that you are trying to get back who is desperately trying to divorce you, okay?
But
Then
to
he
me, that's a
basically-
sign of mental illness.
No, I
not-
think the work. Kanye has never. This is my thing with the mental illness tag.
Well, and I only bring it up
Yeah.
because I've heard this floating around,
It
and
has.
bird's eye view, not being as familiar with the details of the
Right.
situation, I'm only bringing it into conversation because lots of people are talking
Totally, and Kim has said through statements before. Wendy, correct me if I'm wrong, but she has not came out and said he has mental illness. He's referenced bipolar and that in different arenas, but he's never really. It hasn't been stamped, is what I'm saying. And people give him. I feel like sometimes it gives him license. People. I feel like sometimes the mental illness tag, which is a very serious situation,
Of course.
kind of gives an artist of his stature, either he's going to be pro mental illness, say, hey guys, I have this, and be pro and help people, or it's just like this gray area, but does he, doesn't he, or is he acting just, is this publicity like the football thing? Is that just publicity? Is Julia Fox just publicity, or are you in love?
See,
Okay.
like,
I think it's all publicity.
Kim has touched on, I believe she did use the word bipolar before. She has touched on how difficult it is being with somebody who does struggle mentally. And I think it's important to take into account that, but also like, when is it stepping over major boundaries? And when is it making it unsafe for you, your partner, your children? Like, there is something like, he's a grown man. He kind of knows, he should know what's right and wrong. And the fact that like he's posting these private messages of Kim pleading for him to leave her boyfriend alone, like does not appreciate that. And he's continuously posting stuff and harassing her and harassing Pete. And so after this weekend, people were kind of done with Kanye. It turned from
Well, also the internet is forever, right?
It is.
Yeah.
oh yeah, and like so people took it as entertainment at first, and then they were like, whoa dude, like you are really crossing some serious lines. And people are basically saying like Kanye is harassing Kim. Take this out of like the celebrity world.
Right.
If your ex-boyfriend was posting all of these messages about your new boyfriend, private messages between you two, like that is a level of harassment. There is that's, you know what I mean? Like just because she's a celebrity, it doesn't make it okay. Just
Yeah.
because she tapes her life for the world to see, this is a private moment.
I think that's the gray area with Kim. I have a lot of friends I have some friends who are just like, she started her career begging.
Yeah,
for
there
this
were no
attention.
private moments. She started her career, was launched with something quite intimate.
Quite intimate. And she then got a show off of that intimate video. And then her family got a show, and they have brands. They're highly successful businesswomen, which I respect. But then it's like, you know, you take like an artist like David Bowie, who did a lot of art, had a wife and a kid, but didn't parade around town. So then you like, where I have friends who say, well, where is the line? Because when you're making money and you're selling us your reality, right, which is, you know, real or not real, but then now that we have a piece of hold of what's real reality, now you want to say, be careful for my kids.
Or how much right to privacy do you have? Because it seems like before you didn't care about privacy, you threw your privacy out the window.
Yeah, so I have a question. So if they want privacy, or you complain about your text messages and you don't want children involved, why would you publicly state you have a new boyfriend or a new girlfriend?
Right.
Like, you guys are parents, so it's like, if you don't want kids involved, they obviously have access to the internet. So it's like, what did you think, Kim?
I know. And I'm
Like,
Yeah, and I mean, they are celebrities. Like, they're gonna get photographed. Kim Kardashian's gonna get photographed going into a grocery store, right? But the thing is like, when, especially with like COVID and the pandemic, like they've been dating for several months. Like they could just stay in if they want. If they don't want to get photographed, they don't need to go to Nobu. They don't need to go to Carbone. They don't need to go to all the hoity-toity fancy ass places where they know the paparazzi are going to be.
There's a lovely marmalade cafe in Calabasas that is quite low key.
Or do they call the
there you go.
paparazzi?
That's true. They might. Okay, so you know, talking Super Bowl, talking all the celebrities were there. I mean, certainly the whole gray line privacy, that is food for thought, or tequila for thought. Let's do some. I'll have some more of that Dragones.
Oh, yes.
But on that note, Super Bowl, I was at the Super Bowl, and I was completely unaware that J-Lo was dancing on Ben Affleck.
They showed it on TV.
Because I heard she doesn't drink, so was this a bit of performance exhibitionism? Was this a I love my man? Was this a I don't normally drink, but I drank on the Super Bowl? Where do we think this is?
J-Lo drinks, she's not a drinker. And I think that thing has followed her, and I think even she said herself, she drinks, she's not a drinker. And I think
That's fair.
My husband's that way. He drinks, my husband drinks, he's not a drinker.
Sure.
So are we drinkers?
We're drinkers.
Yeah, we're drinkers. We're all drinkers.
Selective drinkers.
And I love it.
So why did this J-Lo thing catch attention?
So, okay, the thing that caught attention, well, one of the best Super Bowl halftimes of like all time.
100%.
I'm partial. I'm from LA.
Well, we're also all, I think, millennial babies, and we're very familiar.
Exactly. I don't care like where you were, if you were at the Super Bowl, if you were sitting your ass on your couch at home, if you are around our age, your ass was standing up, dancing, singing at the top of your lungs, right? Like it was a fantastic show. And like every celebrity that was there, J-Lo, you know, she couldn't help herself. And she's a performer, man, you know, she's got the moves. So yes, her and Ben Affleck showed up to the Super Bowl together. They were in a VIP, like just one of the VIP areas with a bunch of other people. And they did a close-up of J-Lo, and she's like dancing on Ben Affleck. And people love Bennifer 2.0, right? Like they love that they're back together. They love to see it. Well, it's funny because a lot of people didn't know during the Super Bowl, because I watched the whole thing. I didn't see them do a close-up of Alex Rodriguez, but he was also there. Keep in mind, A-Rod and J-Lo were engaged last year, you guys. She just broke it off. last year, and right away began dating Ben Affleck all over again, right? Yeah. And so A-Rod's just like yards away from them at a different VIP area. But the fact that like they were all there under one roof, if you will, being the first event that they're all at together after this like huge public breakup, plus like she threw the relationship with Ben Affleck in his face. Like rewind to 20 years ago, she was engaged to Ben Affleck. I don't know if everybody remembers this, but they broke up days before their wedding.
She was scheduled to walk down the aisle. The type of wedding and the white dress and being married in a Catholic church, except for I think it was J-Lo's like third or fourth marriage.
She had Ohani Noah, Chris Judd, Mark Anthony.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
wow. Because Affleck was like 2000. I want to say they were supposed to get married in 02 or 03, somewhere around there, even maybe 04. But anyways, yeah, so they ended up not actually getting married, and they pulled the plug on their wedding plans days before, which was like a huge blow up in the media. I mean, I wasn't in it then because I was younger, but yeah, I mean, like
too young to drink tequila.
Too young to drink tequila, but on my way, if you will.
Okay, so you're talking about a bunch of other you sent us this awesome list about what's going on in the world, and one of the things on here is I am completely confused by this. Tell me about the Tinder swindler. Have you guys heard of this?
Oh,
I just saw it on Netflix. Not seen it, but
I just started watching it because my husband was just like, "Yo, you can make money." My husband has a saying where you can make money. There's a million ways to make money. And I'm like, that's not a legitimate way to make money. Having women give you money.
It seems a little bit to me like, do you guys remember back in the early days of email, there was, somebody would send you an email and it was like this catfishing, and that you'd eventually send them your bank account information. You'd send them money, whether it was, the Prince of Dubai or whatever, or it was somebody who would claim to be a widow or in a tough situation, and then say, "Oh man, I would come visit you if I only had $50,000 to buy a plane ticket." And we all know that plane tickets don't cost that much.
I think people are still doing that to like grandmas and stuff. It's very sad, but yeah, this man nicknamed the Tinder swindler because he would find these women on Tinder, strike up a conversation, they would meet up. He claimed that he was the son of the Diamond King, whoever the hell that is. But there is a Diamond King out there. And he claims...
You know about that, Sherry? You know about
Diamond King, yes.
What are they,
Diamond
dealers?
King.
He's the king.
Oh. No, but he is the king of every diamond dealer in the world. Like, he is like, he's like so freaking rich, you can't even imagine.
That seems like a tough identity to fake. No, apparently not.
If you are a Photoshop pro. He was like photoshopping his picture to like these pictures, and then even if you Google, somehow he got his name like attached to this billionaire. Like, it's so freaking weird how he did it. It's like a craft. He like fine-tuned his craft. You know what I mean?
Like Catch Me If You Can, the Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, it's basically that, but on Tinder. It's basically Catch Me If You Can, but Tinder.
Okay, so I think, Sherry, both you and I were never on Tinder or any of the dating apps. We've been with our partners a while.
I wasn't either, you guys.
Yeah. Right. You've been with your husband for a while too, which is why we have our resident single friend here.
Yes,
Mark.
I live on Tinder.
Okay, so tell us, is it easy to scam people on Tinder with profiles and like backstories?
Yeah, there's lots of photographing.
Catfishing.
Crafting, lots of cars, jewelry, homes, all that jazz.
Oh, like in their profile.
Yeah.
Be honest, Mark, have you ever photoshopped your abs?
I would never Photoshop. And actually, people would ask me, I'm like,
yeah, you don't need to. That's
I don't even have those apps on my phone.
Unnecessary.
So you're saying basically they have photos that show their lifestyle. So you're going to click their lifestyle if they live in the hills, in Hollywood Hills. Or
Yes, so they bait you basically.
So he was baiting but required payment.
So he was baiting, but what he was doing is he would be using all these flashy like cars to pick up the women for their dates. He would meet them at like the fanciest restaurants ever and order everything off the menu, basically wine and dine them, buy them all the things.
He would.
He was paying for it, but really in reality what they figured out is he was becoming in relationships with several women, and they all thought they were exclusive. He went as far to claim that I don't want to ruin anything for you, Sherry.
Okay, don't tell us the ending. We'll leave it at that. I think that the more interesting topic here that's leading us into the conversation is, I guess my question is, after talking all about this, do you think that it's okay to tweak your photos or your bio or embellish to get that first date? Because, there's such a thing as being photogenic or not. And, there's lots of people that maybe don't come across great on a photo, but then you meet them in person and they are super fun and their personality really shines through. So what do you think, whether it's Photoshop or profile chatting, is there any acceptable level of modifications or embellishments?
I don't think so, because you would really believe it, and then once you show up to the date, it's just an uncomfortable space because it's now fraudulent.
But at what level is it fraudulent? Because what if you just
they would use pictures from 20 years ago. I will not say his name, but he did this, and I'm like, sweetie, those are not your pictures.
Well,
anymore.
that comes off, but that's like a full-on lie.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
But what if you whitened your teeth and maybe took some of the like a puffiness
No,
away?
it's just be yourself.
Is there an
keep
acceptable
it
amount?
authentic. No.
So for you, there's no acceptable amount. Sherry, if you were on a dating app right now, do you think that there would be let's call it 0 to 100%, 100% being like a completely different human being?
Well, I think I have a very nice body, so I don't think I would do too much fine tuning there.
You do.
Yeah, I know I do. That's
Because you train with House of Strong over here.
yes. So I don't think it's my jam. I tend to lean on more the natural side of life. I didn't wear makeup till I was 21. So it's
Tequila drinking age.
Tequila drinking age. It doesn't age you. Brown lines, crow's feet, all the things. And I don't know because I would be embarrassed if you didn't think I was a banger. When I met you in person, I would be embarrassed if you thought my avatar looked better than the real thing.
You don't want
so
someone
I
to be
actually,
disappointed.
and I actually think looking more whack and then showing up looking cuter is a vibe.
Yeah. But I think the biggest issue on Tinder dating apps is when people pretend they want to be in a long-term relationship when they just want to hook up, which is the biggest fraud ever.
Yeah, that's probably worse than photoshopping.
It's worse than photoshopping.
But does it
it's like
turn you
it's
off?
like an emotional.
Emotional fraud. Emotional fraud.
fraud.
Does it turn you are you immediately turned away if someone says, "Hi, I'm only here to hook up"? But I guess there's separate apps for that, right?
There are separate apps, but if the shoe fits, it's like, Daddy, come over.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. Also, it depends what kind of mood you're in. You know what I mean?
Because you're being honest.
Yeah, it's like I'm being honest.
You're
Like,
not being
if it
fraudulent.
works, it works.
Yeah.
But
But like, if you're in the mood for if you want a serious thing, then you're kind of like, thanks for being honest, but next. But if you're in the mood, then you're in the mood and you know what they want. So
You don't waste your time, right?
do what makes you happy in the moment, honestly.
Like tequila. Cheers to that. Cheers to
Cheers.
being happy in
Yes.
the moment, guys. And Whitney Vasquez
Cheers.
from Radar Online, thank you so much
Our
for joining us.
resident.
you're welcome. One last thing though, if you meet somebody on Tinder, do not give them $40,000 if they say that their enemies are coming after them and they desperately need your money to
Noted.
survive.
Noted.
Sage advice.
Oh, no.
Sage
Listen
advice.
to Whitney, people. Listen to Whitney.
Sage
We'll
advice.
save that for my family, my little dog Ginkgo.
Thank you so much, Whitney.
Thank you, Whitney.
Guys, check out
Thanks,
Radar
guys.
Online for all of the happenings and much more in depth and all of the
so
Super Bowl
much.
stuff and all of the things that
All
we
of
weren't
the
able to
stuff.
cover. Whitney, thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Kisses. See you soon, baby.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
So guys, that is Tequila Talks. You're looking at it. This is going to be us having tequila, explaining to you in bits and pieces how you can start your own tequila journey and just some sort of fun tips on mixers, possible benefits, and just kind of chatting about the world in general as we view it through the lens of a tequila sipper, or maybe in some instances a tequila shot. We'll see. See where it takes us.
100%.
Thank you guys for joining us. Tune in and subscribe if you want to see more. We promise that Sherry's phone will be off next time and you won't
Rookie
hear that
move.
ring.
Rookie move.
It's the first episode. What are we going to do?
Cheers to you guys and drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
With the turmeric shot.
With the next time he's gonna make his turmeric
Cocktail.
Do you know
tequila
what?
cocktail.
Do you know what they call a virgin turmeric margarita?
What? Turmeric.
Just turmeric. Yeah.
Fitness jokes.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Bye. I'm like, just turmeric? It has to be
I
just
was
turmeric.
like, I was mind fucked. I was like, wait, that exists.